sharing a little blast from the past. What's up, social world? ¿Qué tal, mundo social? Mr. Mom here, talking about what I remember eating as a young kid. Not as a toddler, I'm talking like 7, 8, 9 years old. I remember I used to eat, there was a minestrone soup. I'm assuming it's Progresso, I don't know. But it was a minestrone soup. I want to say it was in a greenish can. It was very thick. It hardly didn't seem like a soup. It almost seemed like a stew, like a minestrone stew, which actually sounds really good right now. But anyway, and I would always have that with 4 slices of wheat bread. We always had wheat bread in the house. Very rare white bread. It was always wheat bread, which I'm fine with. I still like wheat bread. I still buy it all the time. In fact, 95% of the time, if not more, I buy wheat bread. And yeah, I used to. It was a can. It was a good size, large can. It was decently cheap, and I'd come home after school, heat up that sucker, nuke it, and along with 4 pieces of sliced bread, and boy, that was really satisfying. It was really good to me. I mean, it's better to cook real food, but in my case, I had a single mom, no siblings, no older siblings, no grandmas, grandpas, nothing like that. It's just the 2 of us. So there's only certain things that you can do for yourself. And of course, the easy thing was nuke a can of soup. In this case, a thick minestrone soup, which I loved, and I used to eat it day after day. Didn't care. This is before like a couple noodle crazes and stuff like that. But yeah, that's what I used to eat all the time. Now I did learn as like 8 years old, how to put beans in to cook. How to make rice, but not in a rice maker. They didn't have those rice cookers back then. On the stove, I used to be able to cook rice on the stove. And then a really easy thing to teach your kids is cooking a whole chicken. Just buy a whole chicken and teach them how to wash it, and then teach them how to just put some foil paper or put it into a baking dish, and salt and pepper. Very simple. Salt and pepper, and cook it up. And of course, from there I've grown to salt and pepper, lemon, some orange, salt and pepper, garlic, orange, lime, different ways. Salt and pepper, Italian seasoning. There's different ways, but it's a basic way of cooking. Just stick it in the oven for hour 15 minutes, hour 20 to be safe. Make sure it's cooked properly. And nowadays you could actually just do that in a slow cooker. Just stick it in the slow cooker. But if you have a Costco card, of course, those whole chickens, I mean, they're $4.99. That's cheaper than usually cheaper than buying a whole chicken and then going through all the deal and then cooking it with your gas or electric oven. Usually it comes out cheaper. Did you know that the Costco chickens are sold at that price and they're sold at a loss? They actually lose money every time they sell a chicken. Why do they sell them? Because it brings the customers in, and it makes the customers go all the way to the back of the store, basically. So that's why they do it. It's a marketing expense. Very good marketing, very tasty marketing expense. But that's why they do that. Is so I mean, if you can always buy Costco chickens already cooked, they're already seasoned, they're already pretty good. But teach your kids some basic stuff. Make spaghetti. I was always known for making my spaghetti, because even though I start off with the jar stuff, add mushrooms, add Italian seasoning, add garlic, add Parmesan. You add a bunch of stuff to it. I would cook it for a very, very long time on low heat. I'm talking hours. For as long as I can stand it. I mean, if I could start the day before, I would. And just teach your kids, teenagers, to cook some stuff, some basic stuff, so they're not relying on a cup of noodles. So anyway, I was just remembering what I used to eat as a kid. Of course, besides the ham and cheese sandwiches that I still eat to this day, I have a couple of them in the car with me right now. Plain and simple ham and cheese. I could have done good if we were in the times of like the Matrix, where how Neo first comes out of it and they serve him that grub, and they're like, it's nutritional value. I'd be like, all right, that's what I'm eating then. No big deal. But anyway, I wish I was that disciplined as far as not watching so much TV, but that's another story. Anyway, tell me what you remember eating as a kid. Cheap food and stuff like that you have to remember as a kid. Any simple recipes that you remember cooking as a child, or starting off stuff. Like I said, I used to start off the beans, and my mom would come and she would finish them off. Finish cooking them. Like, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends. Anyway, I'll talk to you next time, and see you soon.